The answer is yes. We can teach you how to forecast the direction of home prices, but no one can teach you how to predict specific dollar amounts. That's a fool's endeavor. And we can teach you how to foresee future price action better than the average real estate agent, 88% of which don't last past 5 years. What we can't do is distill such a lesson into a YouTube short. And we realize most viewers won't be willing to download and scrub data like we have, but that's not what this recording is about. This presentation is about the extraordinary payoff that can be extracted from the seemingly random chaos of endless data. The methods we're about to share with you aren't taught in any real estate classes that we're aware of. We learned them through decades of trial and error and a lot of arduous work. The two of us have been in the real estate industry for 60 years combined. We're residential appraisers and real estate brokers. We've certainly seen our share of booms, busts, bubbles, and corrections. Therefore, we could shave decades off your learning curve by condensing our knowledge into videos that get to the point as quickly as possible. Naturally, discussion of statistics must be involved. There's simply no way around the subject, and we'll try to keep it as simple as possible for those with no data science experience. But if you truly want the capacity to diagnose future home prices and all the advantages that ability could deliver, then you must be willing to peer into the fog of the crystal ball until the mist clears. If you do, even novices will come away with a better understanding of how to read the data, and they'll be able to do it better than 90% of real estate professionals. Picture card counters in the game of blackjack who've learned to change the odds of the game to favor them rather than the casino. They know when the deck is rich in 10 cards and aces, and they increase their bets accordingly. They can't tell you what the next card will be, but they know when the odds are high or low of beating the dealer. Likewise, in real estate, our aim is to figure out whether the proverbial deck is stacked against us or for us. We're not looking to predict future home prices to the exact dollar. Instead, we focus on maximizing our savings and profit by knowing when the best times to buy and sell are, and this is accomplished by studying the historical record. Using MLS archives, we started looking for parallels within the indexes that might give us forewarnings of when a market was about to roll over or take off. We did indeed find corollaries by creating charts, which in this case are really just visual representations of basic human nature over time. As Mark Twain once said, the future may not repeat itself, but it often rhymes, and people are creatures of habit. Additionally, charting is a much more practical way of viewing decades of rows and columns of endless data and allows you to easily backtest your theorems. We began noticing seasonal patterns, random events, and interrelations across indexes that could offer significant opportunities for those who could just understand the math. Knowing about and understanding these moments in time could potentially equate to hundreds of thousands of dollars in savings and profits, even in the short term. Let's turn to the charts for examples of how we can improve our odds of buying low and selling high. But before we do, we want to warn viewers that lessons covering data analysis and statistics are hard to make entertaining. Nevertheless, if charting and math isn't your thing, consider what you could do with a few $100,000 extra if you could just learn to understand some of these methods. As the saying goes, if this were easy, everyone would be doing it. Additionally, you may want to pause or rewind the video from time to time, as we'll be moving quickly from here on out. Make sure to mark your time so you can come back to the same place in the video later if you need to. We'll delve into the real estate landscape in King County, Washington, focusing on single-family residential properties. King County, home of Seattle, serves as a bellwether for the state's economic health. This is because home prices near major work centers and their surrounding regions tend to be particularly good indicators of a state's financial fitness. The concepts we're about to share transcend geographical boundaries, resonating not only across states but echoing globally. While we'll be focusing on single-family residential for this video, these principles eclipse property types. Condominiums, townhomes, new construction, vacant land, etc. could easily be substituted as long as there is sufficient data. In this initial graph, the green candles symbolize year-over-year median price increases. These upward trends signify growth and prosperity. On the other hand, the red candles, few and far between, represent rare year-over-year price declines, a cautionary signal for investors. Nestled among the green and red candles are the scarce yellow candles, denoting periods of no year-over-year change. In the extensive timeline of this price chart, spanning 277 months from January 2001 to January 2024, we encounter intriguing patterns, some subtle, others bold. 63 months stand out, depicted by crimson candles, equating to some 22.7% of this chronology. While care needs to be exercised during these periods, they also present a strategic opportunity for keen investors. But one needs the ability to decipher the details to be able to seize value during uncertainty. 210 months, or approximately 75.81% of our timetable, witnessed year-over-year median price ascents. Those are rather good odds. These are the months when the markets rose with optimism, lifting prices higher and higher. However, these sanguine times feature seasons in which prices wax and wane as well. It is beneficial to understand these cycles as well as to better capitalize during these sequences. There are 4 months with no year-over-year median price changes, which equates to a mere 1.44%. The red and green boxes above the candles with a range of percentages inside of them correspond to when the Federal Reserve was tapping the brakes, hiking interest rates, or hitting the accelerator, cutting interest rates. The general public and many real estate professionals tend to believe that interest rates steer the ship of home prices, but this is just an illusion of Fed dominance. We've found much better compasses that foretell the future direction of home prices, especially in the shorter term. And it might be that interest rates would score higher as a statistical barometer if they weren't so mercurial. As Federal Reserve Chair Powell himself has said, the lag effect is difficult to account for. Therefore, solving the puzzle of this delayed reaction is a mathematical maze that will remain on our back burner for the foreseeable future. Observe the dips and spikes of the chart, especially the period following the infamous housing bubble, late 2007 to early 2012. The valleys and peaks of the graph are more pronounced after the housing bubble. Just the same, a cursory glimpse of this histogram only tells a fraction of the story. There is a veiled complexity that requires a deeper dissection for better insight. Be conscious of the fact that lower lows and higher highs are much more than mere fluctuations. The valleys offer buyers enhanced advantages, while the peaks invite sellers to amplify their gains. It's curious how misinformation often permeates among the masses, and these signs get misinterpreted. Diverse perspectives enrich our comprehension of the data. When we explore information from various angles, we uncover hidden nuances and gain a more profound insight. Each lens, whether analytical, historical, or creative, adds a layer to our understanding. So we incorporate a multitude of viewpoints, and therein lies the essence of perception. When we distill decades of data into monthly snapshots, a crystalline clarity emerges. Each month reveals an illustration of how the seasons sway home prices. Yet, we're merely scratching the surface, as there are many more ways to analyze supply, demand, and sentiment. The historical record harbors signals of price rollovers, shifts, transitions, and potential opportunities, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves. First step is to sieve through the data of the earlier median price chart, sifting by month and then averaging. The result is a simplistic outline of the best months to close, whether buying or selling. Let me state that again. This is a very simplistic view, like a child learning to walk. It's elementary because unlike the previous histogram, it doesn't show incidents like housing bubbles, pandemics, or inflation, or the Fed's reaction to such occurrences. These and other black swan events can dramatically affect seasonal patterns depending on when they take place and how long they last. This graph, however, when combined with various other indicators, is one of the many valuable tools in helping us to capitalize most when buying or selling real estate, especially during less volatile markets. According to the rhythmic pulse of real estate cycles, the best times to close when buying are as frost yields to early spring, January, February, and March in that order. The best times to close when selling are as the weather warms, June, July, May, and August. May and August are a toss-up. We say best times to close because we want viewers to remember negotiations, inspections, and paperwork take time. Allow a 30-day lead time in deciding when to make an offer or list a property. Sellers need to be especially aware of how important it is to be price competitive when listing. Aim too high and you could miss the summer crescendo and find yourself adrift in a declining tide. Buyers need to be aware that the cupboard may be bare if they want to buy during the best times according to the archival data. Moving in winter is no picnic, but this is the time small fortunes can be made literally. Shoppers can make offers in later December, which is the 5th best month for consumers, but close in January, which is the best month for purchasers historically. Toward the end of December, there will be investors who are urgent to sell before year's end, and buyers can pick up a gem in the snow if conditions are right. Again, shoppers will have less inventory to choose from, but if you get started at the right time, there is no doubt you can find something that fits your criteria before the end of March. As we apply the same calculations to months of inventory, a fascinating narrative unfolds, an account of scarcity, anticipation, and market forces. March, the month of renewal, heralds the awakening of buyer demand as winter starts to thaw and people emerge from their homes and become more active. Demand continues to intensify through spring and culminates in the summer months. 5 to 6 months of inventory is the accepted industry standard of a neutral market between buyers and sellers. That being said, now consider this is 23 years of data indexed by month, and you'll come to realize that we've been in a solid seller's market for at least 2 decades and counting. Naturally, there have been some occasional exceptions when inventory was well over 6 months, but for the time being, we don't detect much relief coming for buyers anytime soon. Months of inventory is the second best indicator of future home prices we have. After all, price is driven by supply of an item versus demand for that item. The following may be foreign to those unfamiliar with working with statistics. Regardless, we believe we can demystify the process so even the uninitiated will understand it. This technique is important to grasp as it holds the key to deciphering short-term median price trends. Pearson's correlation coefficient measures the strength and direction of the linear relationship between two variables, one being median home prices in this example. Pearson's correlation coefficient is also the most widely used among statisticians. Without launching into a detailed explanation, we'll simply say Excel offers 6 different correlation coefficients that we're aware of, so one doesn't need a torturous mastery of statistical formulas. Here's a condensed explanation of Pearson's correlation coefficient. Picture a range between -1 to 1. The closer the outcome is to -1 or 1, the more perfect a linear relationship is. A negative relationship is every bit as valuable in assessing future home price action as positive relationship is. 0 indicates no linear relationship, meaning that the data has 0 relationship to the other variable. When we applied Pearson's correlation coefficient to the various monthly indexes MLS publishes, we found total active listings to be the leading indicator of future home price movement. There are other gauges we use in correspondence with total active listings to create more intricate projections, but we'll have to save those for other videos rather than turning this one into a dissertation. Let's wrap this session by taking another look at the median price diagram over the total active listings sketch. Remember, total active listings are the premier yardstick of future home price trajectory. The correlation of total active listings to median home prices is a negative one. This means that the more total active listings decrease, the higher median prices ascend. We can clearly see this fact in the stacked graphs. There's an ever so slight lag effect, meaning total active listings climb or dip first, and median prices react quickly thereafter. This lag effect is almost imperceptible. Compare the year-over-year red candles in median prices to the same time periods in the total active listings and note the accordant convergence. Look how high total active listings were during the housing bubble period, 2008 to 2012, and where they were during the 2019 downturn and the most recent dips. Total active listings are fundamental in forecasting future price movements. Knowing this, we'll be zooming in on points in time in both the median price and total active listings to reveal just how powerful this correlation can be in determining the path of future home prices. But be aware, we've only been using King County median prices as an educational tool for this video. There are much more sophisticated means of analysis that we'll be sharing as we proceed. For example, there are 26 counties encompassing the Northwest Multiple Listing Service, and King County alone is comprised of 6 regions partitioned into 30 separate map areas. And within each map area are individual neighborhoods. We've tested theories by comparing regions to one another, and we've uncovered unforeseen revelations while contrasting map areas. Further fascinating insights are gained when measuring regions or map areas between different counties, and many discoveries are often quite surprising. In our July 27th newsletter, we shared an example of how investors could have saved 15.29% more by purchasing a median-priced home in Snohomish County rather than King County. In this illustration, we used median prices from June of 2019 in King, Snohomish, and Pierce counties. The holding period in the lesson was 2 years. The median price in Snohomish County was $180,000 less than that of King County, while the Pierce County median price was $318,500 less than that of King County. By 2021, King County prices had risen $165,000, while Snohomish County rose $201,000. That bears repeating. The Snohomish County median price was not only $180,000 less than that of King County's, but it also appreciated by $36,000 more as well. Pierce County too outperformed King County during this time period by 13.31%. Again, this is an oversimplified example using only median prices. Even better results can be brought to light by identifying regions and map areas outperforming their respective counties. We then drill down further, pinpointing the best performing neighborhoods within the most productive map areas comprising MLS. We restrict the search to the most populous counties within the MLS as price outliers in less developed counties can skew the data. By following these sequences, we can pinpoint the hottest spots within a region at any given moment, as these centers can shift in time. In the ensuing videos, we'll be showing you how to decode the data so that you can determine the best performing neighborhoods in your region. Please subscribe, like, and share as we condense decades of experience in an industry that produces more millionaires than any other medium. Thanks for watching. We always appreciate your time.